Hey, I'm Connie, and today I want to share with you my recipe for a classic beef stew. And I know a lot of people consider that to be more of a dish that you will make in the autumn and the winter. But in our house, we eat it all year long. It's meat, potatoes, and vegetables. It's not to love. Comes together very, very easily. It's in a nice little sauce, and you can eat it either by itself, like a stew, or you could have it over rice too, which is delicious also. Usually, I like to make it in the crock pot, but this time I decided I was a little pressed for time, so I waited till the afternoon when I had a couple hours that I was able to really dedicate to it, and I made it on the stove instead with my big stainless steel pot that I love. So I'm going to leave the link to the recipe down below in the description. I followed it mostly, but I also have my own spin on this recipe. So here it is, and I hope you give it a go. Start by cutting up your potatoes into nice sized chunks and setting them aside. Next, dice up your carrots and celery if you have some. Roughly chop up some onion. And I did this prepping earlier in the morning. Next, place your stew meat into a large bag with about half a cup of flour and shake that up really good. Coat each piece of meat. That's going to help thicken your gravy while cooking. Add enough vegetable oil to coat the bottom of the pan. Once that oil is hot enough to sizzle, you add in your meat, and you may have to work in batches, but you're going to just sear the meat, get a nice little sear on it. Once that's done, you can transfer the meat to a plate and just set it aside for now. You can also just leave that little yummy stuff at the bottom and add in your onions and your carrots, and you're just going to cook the onions enough, stir it up to be able to kind of scrape off gently what's at the bottom of the pan. That's also going to add to your gravy, and the onions should be getting translucent by that point. I didn't have to, but if you have to add a little more oil, do so. And then add in your meat. Distribute that well in the pan. Now it's time to toss in your potatoes and stir in your beef broth. Now, I didn't have any beef broth, so I used my veggie broth. And as you can see, there's a little bit of it still frozen. That's all right. It will actually melt in the pot itself. Blend that in. Stir that real well. And since I used veggie stock, I compensated by using 1 whole cube of beef bouillon. Just throw that right in. That will also dissolve in the liquid. The recipe calls for red wine, but I used red cooking wine, and I was generous with it. Gives it a delicious flavor, plus some dashes of Worcestershire sauce. I think I'm pronouncing that well. Next is going to be your tomato paste. It's about 2 tablespoons. I might have used a tad more. And then your seasonings. That's going to be kept pretty simple. It's going to be salt, pepper, and thyme. And I use dried thyme, but you can use fresh if you have it. Just remember to take the sprigs out. The recipe also calls for rosemary. I did not have that on hand, so instead I added some dried parsley. Conversely, of course, you can use fresh parsley. Once all of that is done, you're going to stir this up. Make sure you incorporate everything really nice. It's not going to be very high. It's going to be at preferably like a medium high or low setting. I had it on a low heat. You're going to cover it, and I cooked it for about 2.5 hours. That was enough time to make everything tender, the potatoes, the carrots, and of course your meats. Also, to ensure that the sauce didn't get too thick, I added some more liquid to it. You can add the broth or you can add water, and I reserved my leftover tomato paste. And voila, dinner is ready. Yeah, what do you think, Brody?
Um, Today we're going to be trying beef stew.
It's good?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good, good. Yes, grandchild approved. It doesn't get better than that. And that's what it's all about, really, is making these home cooked meals that now we can sit together with our loved ones, gather together like that saying, gather, and just have great conversation and make memories over a good meal. I also made with that, to go with that, some white rice as well as some cornbread. So, anyway, special thanks to my grandson Brody for his review and being a good sport. And I hope that you do try this recipe. I hope you love it. And I hope that you'll be back. And thank you for coming to my channel. I really do appreciate you a lot. And I will see you on the next one.